Hi, I'm Beck and food's my life. Do you want the recipe for an easy edible gift that you can give your friends and family for any occasion? Well, I have the perfect recipe coming right up. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a classic rocky road, and then keep watching through to the end because I'm going to teach you a really delicious variation on the classic. My first and foremost biggest tip for making rocky road is to use good quality ingredients. It's really worth spending a little bit more money and buying perhaps the most expensive brand because at least you're using the tastiest ingredients. There's nowhere to hide in rocky road. So if you put something in there that's not so great, it's gonna really stand out. Okay, so some basic ingredients for rocky road. Chocolate, chopped up nuts, I like to use almonds, chopped up marshmallows, red raspberries, and a little tip I learned from one of my best friends who's also a rocky road enthusiast like me, about half a cup of rice bubbles. Rice bubbles in the mix gives your rocky road a nice little crunch. And I'm using gluten-free rice bubbles just so all my gluten-free friends can enjoy this recipe too. Now on the gluten-free point also, if you are gluten-free, make sure you're using a chocolate that is gluten-free as well. The chocolate I'm using is Cadbury. The marshmallows I'm using is Pascal. I think they're definitely the tastiest marshmallows. In the baking aisle, you can buy like the little mini marshmallows that are already made for baking, but I really think they have no flavor. I'm using Allen's raspberry lollies, and like I said, I'm using gluten-free rice bubble. Okay, one thing I've learnt also with rocky road is one of the tips is add your add-on ingredients to the chocolate. In the past, when I was a rookie, I used to put all my ingredients in a bowl and then add the chocolate, and sometimes if I didn't have enough chocolate, I'd have to go and melt some more. By that time, the chocolate had already started to seize. It's just awful. So one of those little tips, it's simple, but it's really important. Melt your chocolate first and then add all the ingredients to the chocolate. Speaking of melting chocolate, please don't forget to use a metal spoon because we don't want to use any other kind of spoon that can retain moisture, and then your chocolate will seize and you'll have to start all over again, which is awful. All right, so this is so simple. Just add all your ingredients. So that's my 1 cup of almonds. Now, I haven't really measured the next ingredients. I'm just doing this all to my liking. I'm not a fan of having too many red raspberries because they can get really chewy. So I've just put in a small handful and I've chopped them up and they get really sticky. So when you pop them in, just try and break them apart a little bit. And same with the marshmallows. I've just taken a really generous handful from the packet. And then I'll see how this quantity feels consistency-wise when I mix it all up. Okay, so now in go the marshmallows and give it a good stir. Oh, I love to see it come together. Awesome. Actually, this seems like a really good consistency because it's still wet enough to be able to set nicely and still be able to chop them into nice chunky pieces without it falling apart. So you really got to make sure you don't overdo the add-on ingredients, otherwise it'll be too brittle when you cut it. Now the beauty about rocky road, of course, is that you can completely customize it, especially if you're making it for a friend and say you know your friend loves little pineapple clump lollies or they love gummy bears or clinkers. You can use the confectionery that you know they love and they will really appreciate that because you've really put some thought into it. Okay, we're all good to go. So I've got a square cake tin that I've just really roughly lined. Don't need to be neat for this. I'm just going to pour it in. And now the trick is to work quickly and flatten it in the tray. It's important that you work quickly because you don't have very long when you're working with chocolate. So I'm pushing it right into the corners and that's looking really good. Just get that last bit in. Okay, voila. It looks rough because it's meant to be. That's the beauty about this recipe, and that's why it's so great to have your kids help you do this too. All you have to do now is refrigerate until it's set, and then you just chop it up into pieces and enjoy. Now we could just leave it there, or we could make my special variation of Rocky Road, which I like to call Rough Road. Now let me explain it to you. I thought to myself one day when I was making this, I love Rocky Road, but I really love coconut rough. And then I thought, well, why don't I just marry the two? Let's have a layer of Rocky Road with a layer of coconut rough on top, and now I've called it Rough Road. So what we're going to do now, instead of popping that in the fridge right now, we're going to make a layer of coconut rough. Okay, so for the coconut rough, I've just melted some more chocolate. This is 225 grams of milk chocolate. To this, I'm going to add 2 cups of desiccated coconut. And this should be the right consistency for a really yummy coconut rough. Now, if you want to go to a little bit of extra trouble, and what I tend to do, but I'm being a bit lazy today, is you can toast your coconut. Toasting coconut just gives it that extra flavor. It takes a good recipe and makes it great when you go to those extra lengths. Okay, that's all mixed in. And again, that's a good consistency because it's not too dry. Perfect. All right, what we're going to do is add our coconut rough to the top of our Rocky Road to make it Rough Road. Again, it's just a matter of flattening it now, making sure you get to the corners first. The person who gets the corner piece cannot miss out. It's got to be nice and equal and fair. Okay, so I've flattened it all down. Now we're going to pop it in the refrigerator and voila, you have a yummy Rocky Road topped with coconut rough that you can slice up, put it in some funky little jars or some clear packets, ribbon, and give it to your friends and family, and they are just gonna love you forever. Rough Road. Guys, give it a try. You won't regret it. Okay, so this Rocky Road is ready. It's had some time in the fridge, and I'm going to cut a little bit now to show you what it looks like. Just peel back the paper. And all will be revealed. Oh, it feels really good. Okay, so as you can see, you've got your layer of Rocky Road and your layer of coconut rough right on top. And it is so delicious, guaranteed. So if you've liked what I've created, please like my video, or better still, subscribe. If you check out the show notes down below, you can have access to my website, and I can send you all my recipes for free. So, now it's your turn. Please get into that kitchen and start making these wonderful treats for your friends and family. I'll see you next time.